Hello, Terry.
Hello.
Ni- Nice to meet you. My name is Bradley Myers. Why don't we take a seat and get ready to get started? So, as you may know, I'm a clinical mental health counselor for the clinic. And my job is to kind of work with clients in collaboration to kind of help them develop plans to alleviate their symptoms that they're experiencing and kind of go forward from there. As a counselor, I view this whole process as collaborative. So at any point, if you have any questions or concerns or comments, you can let me know and we can kind of move forward from there. Before I do begin, there is something that I need to review with you. As a client of mine, you have the right of confidentiality, meaning that anything you say here in the session has the right to stay between you and I. There are exceptions to this, such as if you're a harm to yourself or if you do pose significant threat to others. I will have to notify proper authorities. I just thought I'd let you know. But before we do continue, I would like for you to fill this out real quick for me. And if you have any questions as you're filling it out, just let me know and I'll help you out.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that I can make this process as comprehensive and as easy as possible. I know that oftentimes opening up or discussing these things can be quite difficult. So if anything you need, you just let me know.
Thank you.
Alrighty, let me double check it for you. Okay, that appears to be everything. All right. So before we begin, why don't you tell me kind of why you're seeking out my assistance?
Well, I guess I struggled with anxiety for a while, but now it's kind of gotten worse where I don't really want to go outside anymore. Like just thinking about it now makes me really anxious, and I started noticing um I'm getting more headaches, and my doctor said it might be because of my anxiety and like the stress it's causing me. And also I get more nauseous too. So uh yeah, like I would, like to go outside and do new things and everything, but just the idea of it just makes me really anxious, and then it makes me feel nauseous and all these different other things. So I kind of just want to see if maybe therapy could help with that.
Okay, well, and that's totally understandable. So you're saying that these kind of symptoms of persistent worry and physical symptoms of nausea and headaches are kind of impeding your daily activities, or you'd say your life.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
Okay. Um, are there any other symptoms you may be experiencing? You might want to maybe tell me a little bit about that.
Um, I guess like I get like overly worried or like
Mm-hmm.
too anxious to the point where like I can't like function, I guess, because I'll start crying or I start overthinking and then I kind of just spiral and you know, then I just let it happen and then yeah.
Okay, and that's understandable. And you feel that it's kind of almost a spiraling effect from what I'm kind of gathering from what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, you feel that when you begin worrying, it's almost as if you can't stop.
Yeah, like I'll start probably like a little thing or something and then it just kind of gets out of control and then I start getting overwhelmed by my emotions and I can't really stop them. I guess, yeah.
Okay. What are some things that you feel maybe trigger this or set off this worry? Or is there anything maybe in particular that you kind of think about that maybe serves as a potential trigger?
Um I don't get really anxious when I think about going outside, like I don't know, because you never know what's gonna happen. Like so I start overthinking. I'm like, oh, what if I go outside and something bad happens to me, get in an accident or this or that, you know? Yeah.
And that's understandable. I understand the world can sometimes be quite a scary place, and certain events that you may see in the news or something that can kind of make us worry, from day to day. Uh, in a way, you're saying that kind of a lot of the potential repercussions for going out, or maybe some of the dangers that are out in the world, are kind of they're kind of difficult to process, or they're adding to this worry, almost, you'd say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Maybe what are some of the things that you worry about, or that you see that you worry about?
Um, what do you mean, like examples or?
Yeah, examples or instances, or maybe a particular circumstance that you've experienced this type of worry, or um, maybe a particular memory or experience.
Mm, I guess like you said, like with the news, like I don't know, I see people post stuff about how they got followed or this or that, and then I started thinking, oh, like what if I was in that situation, what would I do? And it's like I feel like I just kind of would just freeze because I don't really know what to do, and I just get really anxious about it, and then start freaking out or something, and um, even though it's probably won't happen to me if I go to the grocery store or something, like I still worry about it, and then it's kind of just like I end up not wanting to go to the grocery store or something because I don't know what's gonna happen and everything.
So in a way, you're saying that you feel almost as if you're unprepared for these scenarios, and it's maybe that lack of preparation for the kind of unknown dangers that could be out there that you're seeing that causes this worry, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's totally rational and reasonable thing. I think many of us kind of struggle with the difficulties of being unprepared, um, and what that may bring for us. Uh, what maybe are some things that help you cope or deal with this? Maybe some strategies that you use currently, or maybe some things that, or some people, maybe some resources that help you alleviate this.
Um, I don't really think I have much because whenever I do start spiraling or freaking out, like I don't really do anything to stop it. I kind of just keep kind of going. I try to talk to some of my friends about it, and some of them get it and understand, and then others are kind of just like, oh, well, you need to experience new things, and like that's how you'll get over it, is just by experiencing and going out of your comfort zone and everything. But it's like they don't really get it. It's like I can't go out of my comfort zone if I'm too scared and everything, and it's like physically making me sick. So
So you feel almost that some of your friends understand you and some of you don't, and kind of because of that, it's a little difficult to reach out or utilize some of the resources around you in a way.
yeah.
Okay, and I can understand how that could be disconcerting. Out of those friends, which friends do you feel maybe are a positive influence for you, or which ones do you think help you deal with scenarios you're in?
I guess my friends that also struggle with anxiety and stuff, like since they personally know how it feels, um, yeah, they kind of get it when I talk about how I feel and everything compared to the ones that don't really struggle with it, then they're kind of just like, oh, just experiencing things like you have to get out of your comfort zone somehow.
That's understandable, and you feel that kind of the ones that do um, pressure you, that make you quite uncomfortable, and you're feeling almost as if the ones that do, even though they're there to help, it doesn't quite offset the ones that don't.
Yeah, because then it's just like sometimes they want to go out and then I have to let them know like, hey, at least let me know sometime in advance, and then they don't, and then I don't go because I'm getting too anxious about it, and then they kind of get frustrated with me, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah,
And it's maybe preparing for that unknown, or being able to prepare for that unknown, that kind of helps you deal with these types of scenarios or these types of symptoms that you're experiencing.
yeah, like if I know I'm gonna go out, then I'm like, okay, like at least I'm going out with people I know, and I'm not going out by myself. Like I guess that helps too if I go out with people I know. But I do need I feel like to be my most comfortable, I need to know like a few days beforehand to be like, okay, we're gonna go out, we're gonna do this. Have like a plan in my mind of like what's gonna happen.
So would you maybe say that um, a strategy that's kind of effective for you is uh, dealing with it and kind of like planning ahead. Um, what what would what maybe other strategies that are kind of similar to this planning do you possess in your arsenal?
Um, I guess creating like a schedule for myself to like, like how I mentioned, like going to the grocery store, sometimes that can be hard. Like if I prepare like a list of like, okay, I'm gonna need this, I'm going to the grocery store at this time, go grab what I need, maybe look around and then head back home, like that kind of helps me. Then I have like a set plan of like, okay, like I'm gonna get what I need, I'm have some time to look around and just maybe calm down as I'm just looking around for random stuff and then, just head home. Like I don't really plan of like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go here after this after. Like I'm just like, no, I have to go here and then that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's this in a way, it's this planning and this list creating for certain scenarios in your head. It kind of helps you get through them and cope with them.
Mhm.
I definitely think that is a healthy strategy to deal with certain things. Um, again, I think that maybe elaborating on that and developing a plan around that could be an effective strategy for you. Um, if you may, um, what other strategies or what potential strategies are you looking for maybe in that area of planning? Can you identify?
Mm, I guess like if it's like a last minute plan, like being able to like just have like a way to not freak out and get overwhelmed by it and then just plan it how I usually do with things. Maybe
Mhm.
that might help me.
So in a way, almost communicating with your friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what about your family members? Do you feel maybe your family members in any way help you? Or do you feel there's any specific family members similar to your friends that inhibit this?
I think it's the same. Like some of them help and kind of get it, and then some of them kind of just get. I guess they're more vocal about their frustration of like, oh, why can't you go out? Why don't you go out and stuff like that? Yeah,
So in a way, it's kind of a similar aspect of some are supportive, some are not, and
yeah,
it's the some that aren't supportive that kind of offset the resources that you do have that do support you.
yeah. I guess I just need to like, I guess not care about the ones that aren't being supportive, but not let it affect me as much. I guess 'cause I do have people who do help and everything, but yeah,
And that's understandable. Sometimes these negative influencers, or maybe the people that don't understand our perspective, it can kind of weigh on us a bit heavier than some of the positive experiences we have with people. And oftentimes, maybe uh, you know, it can kind of make it seem like everyone's against us, and add to that level of worry in a way.
yeah,
Um, maybe your planning strategies that you've talked about as an individual maybe can help with communication, or what are some things maybe you feel you can communicate with the friends or family in your life that do support you, and then maybe what are some things that you feel you can communicate to those that don't?
um. I guess with the ones that don't, like, I guess that's something I also need to work on is like letting them know, like, hey, if you do want to like hang out, I do need to know beforehand, like, what is it called? I think it's called like boundaries, I guess. And then with the ones that do support me, like, I guess I can let them know how much I appreciate it and how like helpful it is. That way they can like continue doing that. Yeah.
So in a way, kind of letting those know that do help you, kind of how they're helping you, and communicating what else they can do to help you, and then letting those that aren't, kind of letting those boundaries is what you've identified as kind of as a positive change or a positive plan forward for you.
Hmm.
Okay, and that's totally understandable. Um, For some of your physical symptoms, is there anything that you are currently doing or any other help that maybe you're receiving or any other strategies that you found that are effective at dealing with that, those headaches, or those the nausea you're experiencing?
Well, my doctor mentioned maybe getting medication, but to try out therapy and see if that helps calm them down. Especially for my headaches, because he said those are probably like the stress and anxiety induced, so that like if I really wanted to, I could ask for a prescription, but to try, he really wants me to try like
Mhm.
see if maybe therapy helps me find other strategies and everything. And then nausea, I usually just try like home remedies like tea and stuff to like help, calm down my stomach and everything. Which usually helps. Um, but yeah,
So in a way, it's almost maybe that reduction of stress too that helps those physical symptoms.
yeah.
Okay, okay. And you've identified that maybe tea is something that you drink as a kind of a calming agent, or maybe something that you use to kind of calm yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I like I'm a big tea person, so I like trying different teas and I kind of know like which teas help for what. So like mint tea for like nausea and stomach aches and all that. And um I guess like like some people say like lavender and like chamomile tea help for like stress. So I try that sometimes, but I don't know, I don't really feel like it helps much, but yeah.
It's understandable. Sometimes everyone has kind of that go-to comfort food or maybe even comfort drink that they can depend on to kind of help them with not only their symptoms that they're experiencing in their head, but also physically too. Um, what are some things that you think maybe along those same lines your friends or family can provide to you to alleviate those physical symptoms as well?
Um I guess probably I don't know, I feel like if they help me not with like my anxiety and everything, then maybe I won't experience the stress as much and then I don't experience the physical symptoms. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So to kind of summarize everything we've talked about so far, um, you feel that there are some friends and some family members that are helpful and others that aren't.
Hmm.
For those that aren't, you do feel that maybe setting boundaries and kind of letting them know why you're feeling the way you are is kind of maybe an effective way of kind of communicating them what's going on and letting them into your world without letting their negativity or the negativity that they impose kind of influence your anxiety. Okay. And then for those that are positive influences, kind of reinforcing that positive influence and communicating to them what else that you can utilize from them.
Yeah, because I feel like communicating with them is easier, so that'd probably be easier. Yeah.
Okay. And then some of the activities we've kind of discussed about going forward that maybe you can utilize for coping with these kind of symptoms that you've been experiencing are things such as tea, planning ahead, creating lists, and communication.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing all of this with me. I understand that oftentimes this can be quite difficult to open up and kind of let another person into uh, kind of look into our world. And again, as a counselor, I personally view this whole process as a collaborative process. And ultimately, even though I'm here to assist you, whatever I can do for you, or whatever I can do in a way that allows you to work with me to develop something as a plan, is ultimately what I want to do as a counselor.
Mhm.
Um, Kind of before we wrap things up, is there anything else you want to discuss, or maybe anything else you want to mention about kind of this whole scenario or these symptoms that you've been experiencing?
Not really, but I think, like you said, opening up can be hard and everything. So, and I get this is like one of our first sessions. But I think another reason too, I decided to do therapy is like have someone, I guess, reinforce, I guess, like that like some of my habits aren't like bad. Like sometimes I feel like my planning and all that can be like unnecessary, but like you said, like it helps me, so it's not unnecessary, you know?
So in a way, kind of just decipher what's effective versus what's not, and
Yeah.
go forward and make a plan.
Yeah, like what's a healthy and what's not healthy. Yeah.
I think that's a great plan for going forward. So do you definitely think this is something you'd want to go forward with doing?
Yeah, I like to go with more sessions.
Awesome. Okay. So let's say maybe about the same time next week.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Terry. I appreciate you coming in and talking to me about some of your experiences. Please, anything you need, reach out to me. Any more questions you have at any time, please contact me. You have my email and my phone number to contact me professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And anything else that you need, you can let me know at any time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming out in here and talking to me. And again, I know this can be quite difficult, and um, I honestly appreciate everything that you're coming in and talking to me about.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.